This is where I invite a different guest each week to choose an item, a location and a song that reminds them of the coast. You can listen to the past few episodes on BBC Sounds. But this week you are getting 2 for 1 as we invite the Isolation Creations, otherwise known as Jamie and Alan, to the show. Welcome to both of you.
Hi. Good evening, Beck.
You're on the party line.
We are. We've set up a party line.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, and you're very lucky that you've been able to do this as a duo, but I couldn't have it any other way, really.
I know. It's like having the two Ronnies on, isn't it?
Exactly. It would be like me, splitting up at Morecambe and Wise. It wouldn't happen. So you entertain people every week from your virtual pub, but tonight I need you to put the scampi fries and the dry roasted down and talk to me about the coast, okay?
Well, Beck, it's lovely to be talking to you while we're fully dressed. Last time we met, we were half naked.
Yes, you will. For context, they were getting ready for their show at the Stephen Joseph Theatre. And it was an honour to be there, quite frankly. So thank you. So one at a time, I don't know who wants to go first, but can you explain how Scarborough ended up your home?
Well, we were you were talking about being in London, weren't you, over the week? Well, we were down in that there London for years, weren't we, Jamie? We did. We lived there about 15 years. And it was time to move on. And we just wanted to be by the sea. So we actually sort of lived in Broadstairs down on the Kent coast for a bit. And then obviously, prices started like rocketing and, everyday living and rent and all that. And we thought, well, no, we're going to have to move. We're going to move. And then I suddenly thought, Scarborough. I went there as a kid, loved it. Let's go and have a look. So we did. And within months, we were here.
Wow. Do you know the amount of people that must have ended up living in Scarborough because they went there as a kid? The amount of people I've met and spoken to, and they're like, well, I went on holiday once to Butlins and then I moved there. And that's what you did.
We did. I'm from the seaside, so I'm from Formby, which is t'other side of the country. So I'm from the northwest.
Right.
I grew up in a seaside town, so Formby and Southport. So, I missed the arcades and the fair and the seafront and candy floss. And, I think it was just part of, it was in me blood to be by the sea.
Well, we're lucky to have you. You may have mentioned one of your locations just then. Let's start with your locations. Alan, where have you picked and why? You haven't picked somewhere down south, have you?
No, I've picked, mainly because of childhood memories, the little seaside town of Withensea.
Oh, yeah.
And that's its proper name. I mean, as a kid, we used to call it Withensea or With.
Witternsea.
Yeah. And it was, we didn't have much money. My dad didn't have a car then, so we had to rely on the bus to take us to little day trips. And Withensea was just the easiest choice. Just went round the corner, hopped on the bus. Within an hour, we were there. Fish and chips, seaside beach, arcades. I think there might have been a few donkeys, but I don't think they're there now.
Do you still go, Alan? Do you still pay a visit to Withensea?
I did. I mean, when me and Jamie were courting, I took him there for a day. I did all the sort of like little seaside towns like Withensea and Hornsea. And it hasn't really changed, really. It's the same layout, and it looks a bit more, it's a bit nice, a bit more shiny now, and a bit more colourful than it was. But I loved it as a kid. I loved it.
And Jamie, where have you picked?
Oh, Beck, I've gone against grain. I've chosen down south. I like to think I'm a bit posh.
Oh.
So I've chosen Broadstairs in Kent. Now, Broadstairs in Kent was where we first moved to when we left London.
Right.
And we were lucky enough to find a seafront apartment so we could do the washing up. Looking out at the main bay.
How fancy.
Yeah, we were dead lucky, though. We had to walk up about 7 flights of stairs to get to our seafront apartment. But,
were they broad?
Yeah, down in Broadstairs is my choice.
Oh, I made a joke then, and neither of you laughed.
I missed it.
You said there was lots of stairs, and I asked if they were broad.
They weren't. They were windy.
We'll take it out in the edit. Oh no, we're live, so we can't.
No.
Oh no. It's not somewhere I'm familiar with. I rarely go past Hull, so maybe I'll have to go to Broadstairs and pay it a visit. What's it? What kind of beach is it?
It's a sandy beach. There's
good.
seven little bays. So like Scarborough, it's got its different bays, all with different characters. and it's tucked in between Margate and Ramsgate.
Right, okay.
So you've got the sort of the fun of Margate, the fun fair. You got Ramsgate, which is kind of the harbour and the port, and then you've got this little town called Broadstairs. It's very twee.
It's very old-fashioned. There's only one tiny amusement arcade.
Right.
A couple of ice cream shops, but it looks like it's like set in the 50s. And
Is it like Filey?
Yeah, they use it for a lot of filming, things like The Lady in the Van.
Right. Oh, yeah.
They used a lot of locations on that.
It is very like Filey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you're going to have to fight whether we are in Withernsea or Broadstairs to take your items. So I'll let you...
I think we're going to go to With.
Okay, I'll go to With then.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, what item are you taking to Withernsea?
I am bringing our little Patterjack Terrier, Peggy.
Oh.
When we finally left London and we moved to the seaside, one of the main things we wanted to do was to get a dog.
Right.
And we were just, we were lucky enough that we went down there and Peggy came into our lives and she's been with us for 10 years now.
Oh.
She's a little black and white rescue dog and she pops up in loads of our skits and sketches. So
she does.
Was Bouncer in our Neighbours sketch.
Whether she likes it or not.
No, she doesn't like it. She gets really grouchy when the camera comes out.
That's so funny. So you've got Peggy. So, Alan, what are you going to take?
Oh, now again, it's back to those Withernsea days when I was a kid. It was the big family thermos flask.
Oh, what's it filled with?
It's tea. Oh, only tea. And it's not got the milk in it. The milk's in a separate bottle.
Is it?
And the sugar's in a separate little packet. And it's one of those massive ones that's built like a torpedo. You know, the ones with 2 cups.
Yeah. We used to take one swimming.
Brown and yellow tartan pattern on the side.
Yeah, I know exactly the one you mean.
And we used to chuck it around all day long on the bus or around Withernsea. And to be honest, we'd have a cup of tea from it, and it was sort of lukewarm. And then we'd go to the fish and chip shops and have tea there. So it's like, why are we bringing this big, heavy, lummoxy, massive tea thermos flask around with us all day?
How much was tea in a shop?
About 2p.
Yeah, I'm really... I won't buy tea in a shop because I think I might as well have a tea bag in my purse and just ask for the hot water. I'm really I think it's terrible that places charge for tea.
Oh, how much was a cup of tea down in that there London back?
Gosh, a lot. So we've got Peggy, we've got a thermos flask which will not leak. They are robust.
Yeah.
And we're in Withernsea. Now, what song is going to accompany you while you're in Withernsea? And you chose an item and location each, but you've chosen one song because we can only play one clip of a song. So why have you chosen Bette Midler?
Well, we wanted to choose one of the big camp icons. So we had Streisand or Minnelli or Bassie or Midler. And we settled on Midler because we wanted something that people might dance around to tonight, have a little bop.
Yeah.
And it's a song that I lip-sync sometimes at our drag performances. And it's Too Many Fish in the Sea. So it is sea-themed.
Yeah.
It's a right little lovely boppy number.
Lovely. Well, before we play that, what can people find you doing next? What are you doing? Where can people find you?
Well, I've just recently, because Jamie's been busy working away, I keep the films going. I've just done a little comedy skit of Vera.
Oh, I've seen this. It's so funny. Imagine finding you down one of the back alleyway at Ginnell's in Scarborough, dressed as Vera. I mean, what do your neighbours think?
I think they just close the curtains and think, well, just let them get on with it.
Yeah, it's very funny. So where can people find your YouTube, Alan?
Jamie now.
Jamie.
We are The Isolation Creations. So the is important. The Isolation Creations at YouTube. The Isolation Creations on Instagram, The Isolation Creations on Facebook, and if you're on Twitter, it's at Create Isolate, because we had to flip it round for Twitter.
And in this world where there's a lot of rubbishness and sadness going on, it really will light up your lives. So I highly recommend that you go and check these chaps out. I'm so chuffed that you've come on. I've been dying to speak to you on this for ages. And hopefully next time I see you in real life, you will be dressed.
Well,
and so I just need you to introduce your song.
So this is Too Many Fish in the Sea by the delectable Ms. Bette Midler.